to hold the natural and the third. They're farther apart. The natural has that choke with the ramp, makes things very easy. It's a much easier hold.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's going to be facing off against Roaches, yeah, there's still 2 avenues, but, you know, I think this map more familiar for TAiLS, and I don't think NesTea is going to change it up, man. I honestly haven't seen Zergs change up their playstyle ever since Stefano showed how powerful those Roaches really can be. Well, guys, it looks like the map is loading up, and it is going to be daybreak, and the players have spawned. So here it is, down in the bottom left-hand corner. Make some noise for MVP TAiLS. All right, and in the top right-hand corner of daybreak, make some noise for IM's NesTea.
Now, NesTea just looking so rock solid right now. He's bringing everything together, just absolutely tearing through this group right now. And TAiLS is going to have to put a stop to this right here and right now, I feel.
Yeah, and not only for his sake, but also for the other players in his group. That, of course, is alive. He doesn't want NesTea to continue winning. And, of course, there's going to be 2 more players joining this group tomorrow, you know, once we find out who advances on in the open bracket. So right now, bottom line, NesTea is 3-0. He's on a tear. But, of course, if you count it from a set perspective, he's only 1-0, and he's about to be 2-0 if he wins this next game.
Oh, is he? Well, we don't know that quite yet. We'll have to see. NesTea's certainly looking to be in peak form right now, though. TAiLS already has that pylon going down at the natural, so he will be fast expanding here. The Forge first as well, just the safest form of a fast expand. Gonna make sure he doesn't lose to any kind of early Zergling aggression or anything like that. We do have a pool going down on 14 there for NesTea, so everything right now is just standard fare.
And we have a little bit of a tab below. NesTea was a frequent 2v2 player with Reach, and that is true. He used to be known as Zergbong. And interesting story, I'm like the Brood War guru, because I used to cast so much Brood War, but back when Zergbong wanted to make his account on StarCraft 2, he couldn't make Zergbong because Battle.net banned the word bong.
Interesting.
So he had to make it NesTea because he had a bottle of NesTea on his table.
What about Babong Bong?
Boom, 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 boom.
He's in the open bracket. There is a player named Babong Bong in the open bracket.
That is true. And of course, remember, guys, all the guys from Prime and StarTale who are here playing in the GSTL, you think they're not going to compete in the open bracket? Of course they are. So they've got double action going for them this entire weekend.
Nexus goes down for TAiLS right there. Before the cannon, he knows. And a pylon goes up in the back corner of NesTea's base there.
Whoa. You know what? That pylon cannot be seen by the creep.
Now, if this pylon stays up, I think what we're going to see out of TAiLS here is a very heavy gateway all-in. A 7, potentially 8 gate, and oh no, NesTea running with the Lings, has them queued up for scouting all over the map, but he missed. Oh wait, if he goes back, no, he's not going to go back and check that. He has missed the pylon. This could change everything in this game if he does not discover the location of that pylon.
Will Lord see that pylon?
Oh my God!
And you know what? That is the perfect place to put a pylon here. And I might add, too, this is so bold because Daybreak is not a map that has a very wide main. You know, you might see this on, like, Shattered Temple or something like that, but this main is pretty small, so you would not expect to see a pylon inside your base like that.
And
this is so crazy.
Oh no. NesTea has grabbed a very early third here. That could be disastrous for him. It's going to be a while before he really kicks into production mode. He's going to be making drones for so long here. TAiLS must be feeling more and more confident right now. He knows he has that pylon up in the corner there.
Oh, TAiLS, this is going to be pretty crazy. And, I mean, obviously, it's going to be some type of warp gate
no doubt
attack
about it.
Into the base.
No doubt about it.
That pylon, of course, giving Protoss the ability to bring their units right out of their gateways into the location of that pylon, so then, you know, you're going to have Stalkers and Zealots in your base, and NesTea could be in a lot of trouble. As you mentioned, he got 3 hatches. He's not going to have that much production at all.
And really, guys, this is one of Protoss's aces in the hole. This is the perfect way to abuse the warp gate mechanic, sneak pylons here and there. I can't tell you how many games I've lost to these kind of shenanigans. Sometimes you just don't check. Normally you check all the spaces around your base. Yeah. Even a player like NesTea has completely forgotten to scan his main here, and there's a pylon there. Now,
I can't believe how long that pylon has been inside his base.
It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to lose the game. but
No,
there's going to be a huge conflict in his main. The resupply time for TAiLS is going to be so quick, but NesTea could snipe the pylon after the first warp in. If he realizes what's going on, he might just sacrifice a few roaches to try and snipe that pylon.
But the thing is,
down.
he's not going to have that roach run because he's going for that 12-minute max roach build. He just now got the gases around 6 to 7 minutes. There are 4 more gates being added on right here, ladies and gentlemen. But getting back to what I was saying, NesTea doesn't have any production for attack units. He's just droning up right now, and he's not going to have anything to deal with this. Roach Run is just now coming up, so to combat this, he's going to have to fight with his drones, and that's never a good situation. And honestly, it's not the perfect counter. This is not the answer to dealing with the mass roach build at 12 minutes because you're not going to always get that pylon up, but in this situation, TAiLS is looking really good.
Yeah, he is
Might
looking
just pull
great.
it off, man.
He's only got 5 gateways at the moment, though. We'll have to see if he decides to add in some additional gates. Warp gate technology is finished. Weapons 1 is also about to finish here. So it looks like he's just going to go with a much earlier push, going with the 5 warp gates very early on instead of a 7 or an 8 gate. Now, this changes the timing of everything. This is going to hit so much earlier than a push normally would. NesTea still has no idea.
And he's actually going to reveal his units right now. By the way, guys, there are 4 roaches on the production tab for the Zerg at this moment in time, so NesTea will have some roaches very soon. I'm surprised TAiLS brought his units right away. I thought he was going to warp in 2 cycles and then go, but now he's left himself kind of vulnerable, and those sentries are getting a little bit of damage done on them, but it looks like he was able to pull back. He's trying to get as many drone kills as he can, Pain User. But talk about this, man. Wasn't it weird for him to bring it in right away and not wait for 2 cycles?
Well, it was an interesting decision. He ultimately, he's not going to win the game, but he's doing a lot of damage. He has killed quite a few drones. All of these sentries will end up going down here. The Roach is streaming in for NesTea. He will be able to hold this off and do a great hold at that.
Yeah, it looks like NesTea's absolutely going to hold this off. Those units just came in right away, man, and it's like he gave up his ace card right away. I thought he was going to wait a little bit longer and get a larger army, but as it stands now, he has suffered. He hasn't done the damage he needed to do. And now he's got to try to figure out, how do I transition out of this 5-gate proxy pylon that I just put inside the enemy Zerg base?
He did kill quite a few drones with that, though.
Let's see how many he killed.
Ended up killing 19 drones there, so a little bit more than I actually assumed at first. 19 drones at that point in the game is pretty detrimental to a Zerg player who's trying to max out on roaches at the 12-minute mark. He's certainly not going to be able to do that this time around.
Kind of like a little obstacle block, if you will. You're driving down the street and then you hit a big bump and you can't realize those 200 roaches at the 12-minute mark now. It's going to be much later. And if you think about it, while TAiLS, has skipped significant tech, he could have gotten Twilight Council by now, he could have gotten a robotics facility right now. He is a little bit late. I still think if he's killed off 20 drones, it's actually kind of paid off for himself.
Yeah, no doubt. He did lose some high-value units in the sentries, some high-value gas units, but I think the losses were expendable. They were worthwhile for certain. He ended up killing so many drones right there. So now our drone count 69 to 60. NesTea still ahead, but TAiLS a close second here. And, as a Protoss player, once he gets this third on lockdown, he's got the gateway wall going up right now. I think that TAiLS could find himself in a great spot in this game.
Yeah, this is almost a take back to the older style, of ZVP. Not saying that, of course, that's Protoss are always proxy pyloning or anything like that, but the Protoss now has the ability to dictate the pace of the game, I feel like, because very soon he's going to have a ton of gateways. He's going to have +1 armor finishing up. Oh, he's just lost a couple of sentries right there, and he's going to lose some of these probes as well. He's got to get his forces down there to defend the third, and this is a mistake by TAiLS. Great anticipation by NesTea, and NesTea is going to get some more drone kills, probe kills before he leaves. He will not.
Well, he did manage to get 4 there, I believe, so still worthwhile. He got some scouting information. Not the most valuable scouting information in the world, but still, he knows the third is up. And look how many cannons we have going up at the third there. 4 TAiLS walled in with the gateways and the Nexus, and we do have quite a few gateways down right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pain User, NesTea is about to be maxed on roaches once again. And yes, it's not 12 minutes, but it's pretty much going to be 13, maybe 13:50. And if you look at TAiLS right now, he just made an observer out of his base first. Not a bad idea, obviously, because NesTea has shown that he wants to get Burrow and an Observer will be absolutely huge to countering Burrow, but because he delayed himself so badly by going with the 5-gate here, his Immortal is going to be so late. In fact, the Immortal hasn't begun producing yet. Not yet. There's a second Observer on the way.
Yeah, those 2 Observers, I'm glad you mentioned that, could be disastrous for him. He really needs an Immortal right now. Here comes NesTea pushing into the third. He bypasses the third, goes straight for the natural, and we're going to have a conflict here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the understatement, man. It's going to be a massive brawl here. These Roaches are just going to tear through everything. Robotics facilities have gone down. There can no longer be any more Immortals, and now the burrowing coming out. He has burrowed movement as well, and the Roaches are coming up underneath the Protoss army. TAiLS is in so much trouble right now. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this off, and it could be just another 2-0 for NesTea.
And here comes the flank from NesTea. Beautiful moves. The God of Zerg is making things happen right now. Flanks from both sides, burrowing under the force fields. He's going to eliminate the vast majority of TAiLS' army here. I don't think TAiLS can recover from this.
Yeah.
I really just do not think that TAiLS can recover from this. The Robo has gone down. He has sustained so much damage. There goes the Forge. His entire standing army has been eliminated. And NesTea is just looking phenomenal right now. He's looking unstoppable.
Wow. And here come the Roaches, man. They're about to make their final appearance, and it will be inside the Protoss main as well as the natural. He's going to have so many Roaches here, and I don't really know if TAiLS is going to be able to defend. As you said, it's pretty much all she wrote.
Oh, now NesTea, that's just mean. He's hitting 5 places at the same time. Who does that? What are you supposed to do? There's Roaches burrowing, running from base to base. The third's being attacked here. He has Roaches running amok in his main. He's trying to deal with those. TAiLS doing his best to hold on here, microing like crazy, picking off individual Roaches, but NesTea is just everywhere at once.
Don't taunt me, bro. Don't drink my NesTea.
Don't drink my NesTea. Well, he's certainly going to learn his lesson here. NesTea is going to avenge that loss in the GSTL and in shining fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. The Roaches here finishing off what remains of the Protoss world, and that's the second to last Nexus. It looks like there's still Nexuses up, but it's a very dicey situation right now for TAiLS, who struggling to really stay in this game. He has some Stalkers here and might be able to push these Roaches away, but if you look at the supply tab, it's 175, was 175 to 84, almost double the supply here for NesTea. NesTea really running Roaches in carelessly. Not too sure what he's trying to accomplish here, but he has kind of given some of his Roaches away to TAiLS.
Yeah, but NesTea is just in such a commanding position in this game right now. He's well up on Harvesters. He just took out up to 47 workers killed, so NesTea is just sitting pretty right now. He has nothing really to worry about. He's going to continue to macro up and just head right on into Sauron Zerg mode. He's got the 4th going up. He can add additional macro hatches and just rally reinforcements.
I got to play devil's advocate, though. Do you think there's any possibility here that TAiLS can somehow mount a comeback?
There's always a possibility. There's always a possibility. You never know. He has enough sentries now that he could get some amazing force fields as NesTea tries to push in here. Keep in mind, he does have Burrow, though, which makes things a little bit difficult.
But he does have the Observer, so that can counter the Burrows somewhat, allowing him to attack the Roaches when they're, trying to scurry underground and get in their face. TAiLS here trying to stay alive here, and he's going to make a hold of hopefully at the 3rd for him, but there's so many Roaches coming in, and now the Burrow coming in once again. And while the Observer is there, those sentries are at the front, and 2 sentries have gone down, 4 sentries total. TAiLS is in a world of hurt, ladies and gentlemen, and this could be the nail in the coffin.
This certainly could be the nail in the coffin, or the 2nd, or 3rd, or 4th nail in the coffin.
When they stuff it underground.
TAiLS trying to hold on right here, has a few Blink Stalkers remaining, just the tatters, the remnants of his initial force, trying to just kill off these last hordes of Roaches. But there it is. GG is finally called by TAiLS.
And unbelievable. IM's NesTea is now 2-0 in his group. What a phenomenal start